Hello, friends. Welcome to Josiah Venture Stories. You will hear incredible stories of life change from the mission field and be inspired by the movement of God in Central and Eastern Europe. I'm your host, Gwynne Gardner, and I am so excited to share today's conversation with you. Today on the show is Lelde Keice from Latvia. She was 14 when she became a Christian at a youth camp, and she was first introduced to Josiah Venture during her second year of high school when her local pastor encouraged her to go to a leadership training run by the JV Latvia team. The following couple of summers, she was involved with JV as a summer intern, and ever since, Lelde has been passionate about youth work and helping young people grow more and more in their love, knowledge, and understanding of Jesus. A couple of years after graduating from high school, she moved to England. While there, she completed an applied theology and youth work degree at Moorlands College while serving in the youth ministry at a local church. God called Lelde back to Latvia in 2015, and she's a part of a youth ministry team in her church in Riga. Christian camps have been a big part of Lelde's faith journey, and she sees it as a great opportunity for young people to get to know Jesus in a safe, loving, and fun environment. She serves on the JV Latvia team as the camp's director and helps to coordinate mission teams and does a lot more other stuff. But Lelde, welcome to the show.
Hello.
It's so fun having you here, and we're in person right now.
I know, it's so exciting. Thanks for having me.
I know. Thank you for saying yes to being on the podcast.
Of course.
And we're here actually in the Czech Republic.
We are.
Together.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't always get to record in person, but when I do, it's a special thing.
It's really cool. Really cool. I'm excited for that. You know, Zooms.
Yeah, Zoom's great too, but being in person is fun too. Yes.
Exactly.
Well, Lelde, what else do the people need to know about who you are? Do you got any fun facts, some fun hobbies you want to talk about, share?
Well, my fun hobby and also everyday thing is I cycle a lot.
Oh.
I like cycling. Moving around Riga with my bike. So I really like that. I like going on hikes, although Latvia not being very hilly country,
Yes.
I would say it's more walks, long distances rather than up and down. But I really like being in nature and doing things like that. What else? Fun facts. I don't know. It's I just enjoy being in Riga and watching movies.
Movies, books. Are you a reader? Do you like to read?
I go through phases.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm a reader, and then there are days when I'm not. So
yes, I understand. Well, what is something you love about living in Riga, the capital city of Latvia?
I think it's really beautiful. It's really nice, and it's good. I kind of live a little bit outside of city center. So I live in a really nice area, a lot of green parks around. So there's always a place where to be in the nature. But also the city center is only like 15 minutes away. So it's 15 minutes to city center or half an hour to the beach. Riga is really central in that kind of way. And it's just easy. With my bike, I can go anywhere around the city. So I really enjoy that. And I like just the hubbub of a city. A hubbub.
The hubbub, yes.
Yeah, and the culture of that, and just being there, and easy to be with people and be around people. So
I love it. What are some things, if someone has never been to Riga before, what do they have to see?
Definitely the architecture. It's Riga is very well known for its Art Nouveau buildings.
Oh, yes.
Apparently it has the biggest concentration in one area of those buildings.
Really?
Yeah.
The Art Nouveau.
Yeah. And maybe a weird suggestion, but I think everyone should definitely go visit is the Occupation Museum.
Oh,
I think it's about because Latvia was occupied by Soviet Union for a long time, and there is a museum that talks about it, explains it, and I think that's definitely anyone who ever goes. I always take people there or suggest it to go there. It's in a weird way my favorite museum.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not everyone's always like that was not a great experience, but very moving. But I think definitely knowing the history. So I'd definitely go see that. But also just the city. It's really pretty. Mm-hmm. It's really clean. It's I would say a hidden gem of Europe.
Oh yeah.
Not many people go there, but It's really pretty.
It's nice. I've been to
Yeah.
Riga. I would love to go back.
Yeah.
I think I only spent like one day in the capital because I was at a camp.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to go back to
It's
Riga.
really
All the
nice.
cafes and restaurants and
Yeah.
all the food. Is there traditional Latvian food?
There is. We call them the gray peas or
Oh.
gray peas. But because of Latvia being occupied by various countries, Germany, Soviet Union mainly, and influences, so we have a lot of influence. Kind of what we would say is our traditional food or national food, but actually it comes from either Georgia or Ukraine or other post-Soviet countries.
Mhm.
So there is a lot of kind of food that it's like maybe has a Latvian twist. Dill, we love dill everywhere.
Ooh, dill.
Yeah, and also cold soup. That's
Yeah.
definitely a summer food. So a lot of dill in it.
Okay. Lot
Cold
of dill.
soup, bright pink, so good.
I remember that bright pink soup with dill in it.
Yeah, but
It's
you
like,
love
wow,
the dill.
am I drinking or eating paint? I don't know. Like,
Yes, exactly. But there's some crunch in it.
yeah, yummy. Oh man. Well, for Latvia, just as a country, as a culture, like, what does the spiritual climate look like in Latvia? Are
Mhm.
people open to the gospel? Are they not?
I would say Latvia is a spiritual country, so it is open, and Latvia became a Christian country, if you can say. Like very soon after, like a year or two after a Reformation happened in Germany, it came to Riga. So it's been Christian influence for a long time. So we're
Mhm.
definitely a Protestant country, and people are open to the gospel, but also it's because it's a lot of mix of spiritual other things. Like traditionally, Latvians are pagan god worshippers.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of still some of that. If I have a good thought, what comes around goes around, or what goes around comes around. And yeah, some good thoughts. And if I have this pagan god symbol in my car, then I'll be lucky. Or if I do that. So there's a lot of mixture of spirituality,
Spirituality.
yeah, some new agey things as well. But but there's not much of a kind of why does Jesus matter? People believe
Yeah.
there is God,
Mhm.
but Jesus is kind of like lost in the midst of everything in a sense. So so people are open to it, but it also comes with some background of like still, I need to be good and
Right.
then accepted and need to do good works and
Yeah.
that. But Jesus offers that for free. So yeah.
For free.
Mhm, mhm.
Yes. And for you personally, like, what has your faith journey looked like, or how were you first introduced to Jesus?
Yeah, as you mentioned in the intro,
Yeah.
I became a Christian or started to follow Jesus when I went to a camp when I was around 13, 14 years old. And I had neighbors in my apartment building, two sisters. Their family used to go to church, and their mom is a really good cook. So she was invited to come to this camp to cook for the camp. And then they came back and told me all about it, how exciting it was. You could speak English there with some British people. You could ride horses and BMXs and just have fun week together and all that. So they told me about it, and I was like, yeah, I want to go to that. And I don't remember if they told me it's a Christian camp. I honestly don't remember that. But and then next year I had an opportunity to go, and and they were talking about Jesus, and I saw people who loved each other. They loved me. They had something more that I didn't think I have. Like I knew I didn't have the joy or the love that they had. So that was what attracted me to it. What was, how I was introduced to Christianity.
Yeah.
I used to go to Sunday school when I was younger after Soviet Union collapsed, but then my sister used to take me, then we stopped. So I kind of had some background of that, but not really. Yeah, and in that camp, there was a altar call, as they call it.
Yes.
In one of we had campfire night. And they invited anyone who wants to accept Jesus to stand up. And I prayed together with someone. And and I've been joined the church after that. There's in my town where I grew up, they started a youth ministry around that time as well. And I met some of those people who were part of it. I'm like, I want to be your friend. So
Be my friend, please.
yes, exactly. So I want to hang out with you more. So I started to go to the church there, and kind of that's how I started to get involved.
And you were
and be there.
14 at that time.
I was 14, yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Maybe 13, something like that. Yeah. On the brink of one of those,
A young person.
a young person, a teenager.
Whatever age that was.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's so cool that you were introduced like at a Christian camp and things like that. So you didn't grow up in a Christian home.
I did not grow up in a Christian home. We grew my family is open to spiritual things.
Yeah.
So they believe there is a higher power, but it's not necessarily. But yeah, I've been, it doesn't have to be called God,
Right.
or Jesus. So,
Are you the only believer in your family?
No, my brother is as well.
Oh,
He
okay.
believes as well. He started to believe later in life, and and my sister is as well. So
Yeah. And then you went on to study theology.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Yeah.
God things.
Yeah, God.
Hashtag God things.
Yeah.
That was an interesting story as well. I used to work for JV after high school for a couple of years.
Uh-huh.
That was slightly different context in terms of I didn't have to raise my support and all that. I was just doing, not just, that's an important job, doing admin things.
Yes, admin is important.
Exactly. And then, there was changes in the organization at the time, and I was not able to work there anymore. And I just okay, I want to get out. I need to get out of this country, kind of see what other opportunities are there. And I knew a person who knows someone in England, runs a course. So my original thought was to move to England for a year and just to study in this course that was called children's ministries. So I wasn't necessarily in children's ministry, but I just had an opportunity to go there. So I always wanted to do a bit of a Bible study things. So I had an opportunity to go there. So I studied there. And then, but that was only planned to stay for a year. But then kind of things happened and I was like, I could stay here longer.
Yeah.
And there was other opportunities. I had to do an internship and all those kind of things. And then I actually never really thought going to university wasn't really my dream, maybe because of our family's financial situation, but also because I don't consider myself very academic and it just scared me or something.
Like school, studying. Yeah,
exactly.
Reading.
So that's why I never was a big dreamer. Oh, I'm going to go to university or something. But then for 3 years while I was in England, I did some random courses, something now and then. And by that time I was like, oh, actually I'm at the place in my almost mid-20s that I'm like, I could go to a university actually, or study more or deeper. And at that time, I also got a youth work job in a town called Salisbury. And I was planning to do a course, but then the first weekend when I was there, or second weekend, the church had a weekend away. And I went and joined them, and it happened in this school campus. And I was like, oh, this is a cool place, It's in the middle of nowhere in a nice English village, not too far. Quaint English village. Lots of fields and rabbits and things like
Nature.
that. And so I had applied for another and been accepted to another course. But while there, I don't know if I mentioned it or something, but so I had a meeting with the church leaders there, and they're like, we know you're applied to this other course, but it's actually only not a full-on bachelor's course, and it's you will have to travel 2 hours away from where you're living now. Would you maybe want to come here? I had never heard of that school. Yeah, and that happened within 2 weeks, and
that was Moorlands College.
And that was Moorlands College.
Oh, okay.
That 2-3 weeks after I was there for my first orientation week. So that was God's ordained thing, how
That's
he put it all
right.
together, because those church leadership, they were very supportive and encouraging in that work, and I was able to do my kind of combine my youth work, which was a part-time job already, combined with the studies as well, and it was really supportive and really good time in my life, and a really good for my learning style, that was really good to study there,
mhm,
and kind of worked out for me really good, and I really
and you were
enjoyed
in
it.
England for a few years.
7 years in the
7,
end.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
it was
wow.
7 years in the end.
Maybe
So,
I'll be here one. Oh,
yeah,
that always happens. You know?
exactly.
You never know.
Yeah.
So then why did you decide to go into full-time ministry after that? Like coming back to Latvia and things like that?
Well, actually, I went back to Latvia with the thinking that I'm not going to be in full-time ministry because I was in a full-time ministry in England.
Right.
And, but whenever I was in England, people were like, so what would you like to do? And I'm like, well, I don't know yet. You know, there is this organization called Josiah Venture. I really like it. I like their mission and vision and the way they do things and coordinate things and all that, and look after their missionaries. But I have to raise my own support, so I'm not doing
no,
that.
thank you.
No, thank you. Not for me. It's for others. It's good. For me, no. And then, but it was always kind of on my like. It's a cool organization. If I really have to like dream what I would want to do, this is what I would want to do. But then at the end of my time in Salisbury, when I understood that I have to move back to Latvia, it was more, okay, I'm going back, and kind of I've been in this Christian bubble in England, so it would be good to actually be with some non-Christians. So I found a job in a translation company, which is more of I wasn't the translator, I was more managing the project.
Yeah.
So to be with non-Christians or wherever. We ended up being 3 people, all of us Christians in the office, which
there you go.
Actually was also God ordained good thing, because they're very supportive and actually very encouraging and very big supporters once I said that I'm leaving this job and actually want to go back into full-time ministry with JV. So so I don't know. That was it's hard to say how it was. It was just it was one of those things that I'm like, that is like, as much as this company is good and I totally understand what like their vision and mission, but it's just not my heart, you know. It was I support you, I know, do you do great job, do you do well, and be the best company in your field, but that was not my personal call. And I'm really thankful for that time I had there and learning lots of skills.
Sure.
But I'm like, I feel like God's calling me to something different and something more, what I studied, I guess, a little bit as well. That maybe that played a part a little bit in that, but also, but just like, but it was, it's just something that, I can't imagine not doing it for.
I know. You've been now doing it for 10 years, right? Or longer.
Well, with JV, I joined JV 2019.
Oh, okay.
So it's not.
Not
but those COVID years, they feel like 2-3 years in one.
Oh, because you moved back to Latvia in 2015.
Exactly.
Okay, so, I see. Yeah.
And then for 3 years, and then 4 years, and then 2019, I joined JV. So
right
I didn't.
COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a full year before COVID hit, and then it's like, I'm working with camps, and no, the camps cannot happen. What do we do?
Canceled.
Yes. But that also worked out fine. I joined our training team for that as well, and that helped.
Yeah.
And kind of helped us build that ministry a little bit more as well.
Build the foundation for it too. We had a lot of us had to pivot.
Yes.
During that time.
That was a weird time we lived in.
Weird time. We're not going to talk about it. COVID. No. But as far as summer camps go, even you were exposed to the gospel at a summer camp, how have you seen the Lord use summer camps to transform the lives of young people in Latvia? Yeah,
I think it's those of us who've been in that kind of environment, we see that's like a very concentrated time to kind of a safe environment where you can ask questions, where you can learn. People are just exposed to kind of this more concentrated Christianity. I don't know how to explain that, but it's they do the stories and just being more open with each other and having people around that kind of can explain your questions or answer your questions, and it's just kind of gives that passion for Jesus.
It's like that shared experience, exactly. All together in 1 week of condensed, time.
And it is like it was for me. It's time of you get to experience love or joy that you wouldn't necessarily experience in your daily life or in your broken family or something like that. So that was what I was like, oh, these people have something more than I have. And I hope that's what young people nowadays see in the camp as well. And I know that they do see kind of, that Jesus is real and that he is the Lord and that he's not just one of the others, in the midst, but he is the Lord. He's above all of those things, all of the other kind of made up gods we come up with. Yeah, the people change lives. They sometimes even change their careers because of it. Maybe they were thinking one way they will do, and then they end up going the other way, and or in that sense, I like fusion camps, for example, the music camps.
Oh, I love the music camps.
Yeah. I'm totally not musical, and they're the most kind of intense camps I think I've been to. There's a lot of resources going into it, but seeing how you can, even within a week, can transform someone's skill and learn something, that's incredible. And then there are so many young people, I'm sure we know stories of, who've learned an instrument and now they're teaching it or have become one of the best ones at it, and they're so passionate about it. And the same with other kind of skills or things that we do in a camp. There's definitely a place where young people can learn leadership as well, in kind of leading things or even, small group or something. I know some of my biggest leadership challenges and skills that I've learned have been through camps,
through camps,
and people trusting me. I was 20 when me and my two other friends, we were organizing a camp. And now that I look back, I'm like, what?
What were they thinking? Yeah.
How are these parents trusting their kids?
Trusting us? Yeah.
But having someone that, trusts you and is, I think that transforms lives definitely. And that intense time together, I think, for the camp.
Oh, for sure. Is there a specific story of life transformation that you'd be willing to share that you can think of?
One of the things that I remember we do in our camps, we do something called the labyrinth.
Right.
And in one of the camps that we did, sometimes we make gospel so complicated, and sometimes, and kind of the conversation, okay, do you want to accept Jesus or not? Or and in that we were in prayer room, several people, and I heard like just a little bit of someone else's conversation with a camper and a leader. And they talked for a long time. And then the leader, he asked, so do you believe this? That Jesus died and rose and has forgiven your sins? And he's like, yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, what? It's like, and sometimes it's just that. Do you believe it?
Do you believe this?
That's as simple as that. And sometimes we want to make it such a, and there are times when that needs to happen, and some people need that.
Yes.
But sometimes that life is transformed by just this one question.
Right.
So that's one of the kind of simple but also amazing God ordained stories.
Miracle stories still.
Exactly.
The Holy Spirit working. Yeah.
And then the camper who's being this shy, quiet person in a camp coming year after year, and then after several years, like learning an instrument, and now is actually leading the camp,
right?
Or leading the workshop for that camp, and really discipling young people, although they come through the camp themselves, or seeing how we have one camp leader who many young people, or many of the leaders, or several of the leaders that worked with him, they were like, when he was a teenager, I thought, I'm just gonna
I know, like I'm gonna strangle that kid.
Exactly.
Like, so annoying.
And there are those people, those young people sometimes in camps, but at the same time, it's amazing to see that they didn't give up on him, and now he leads one of the biggest camps we have.
Right.
The same guy, and he does it really well.
Those like redemption stories are so powerful. Yeah.
How God, so he was loud and all that. So there's those quiet people who come out of their shell and become, can be up front or lead a choir or lead a workshop or lead a camp. And then there's this, you think those kids have no hope.
Right.
And God changes them and transforms them completely. So, there are many of those stories where God heals or transforms, families because of it. Families start to attend church because a young person started to come to a camp and to the church. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Hello, friends. I'm quickly interrupting this episode to invite you to join our new monthly podcast newsletter. By signing up, you will not only show your support to this podcast, but also stay updated on new episodes, enjoy exclusive behind-the-scenes content, share feedback, and more. Click on the link in the show notes to officially join the Josiah Venture Stories podcast audience. And now, back to the episode. Camps are amazing. I love the camps ministry that Josiah Venture does and just the life transformation that happens. Like in a big part of camps, we have interns come and serve. Like that's a huge part. But also we have mission teams come from America, from Canada, from the UK, like all over the place. And part of your role in Latvia is to help coordinate some of these teams, right?
Yes.
So what does your role look like with that? And like, how have you seen how mission teams coming to serve at camps like help boost the local ministry?
So when I actually joined JV with that role in mind to be the mission teams coordinator, because I felt like when I moved from UK, because I lived there for most of my 20s, most of my maturing years, right?
Yeah.
Formative years. And there were times when I felt like as a second culture or as a missionary in my own country, not understanding. So I had a feeling I can relate to those people coming in. And the role, what it looks like, it's kind of being almost like an in-between person between the mission team church and the local church, and connecting them and kind of making sure that the mission team is prepared well and give them all the resources that actually are also provided by JV, a lot of it. Coordinating with them and helping them to prepare well, and then in some ways helping the Latvian church to prepare well, and then combine them, to
be the bridge.
Be the bridge between them, because, okay, let's have a Zoom call and talk about things, and then be like this third person of like, okay, have you talked about this? Have you talked about roles? Have you talked about how are you going to do this? And so that's that's kind of the year-long thing that I do. And then it's also, as the summer comes closer and when the kind of summer terms start and when the mission teams start to arrive, it's doing the mission team orientation. So we do day and a half in Riga and do orientation with the mission teams, prepare them for, like we talk about culture and history and go to the occupation museum talk about, like, learn some language. We talk about what is JV and kind of what is the local ministry maybe look like, and just kind of history and what is, like in JV we talk about 5 challenges of Christ, and so we teach about that and how does that look like?
Gospel.
How to share the gospel, and how does that look like in the second culture or in a foreign culture, and how to work well as a team, and so that's kind of what the orientation looks like, and just hosting them well, having them adjust. It's always hard. They arrive on like a Wednesday, often like late in the evening, and training is like 9 a.m. the next morning.
Right.
So
jet lag. I knew where that was going.
Jet lag is hard. But we kind of try to help them.
Don't take any naps. Like,
yes, exactly.
Stay awake, drink some coffee.
But that's hard. I admired them for doing that. And being still remembering what we talked about during the
kind of like
training.
deer in the headlights a little bit.
Exactly. And then sending them off and coordinating all the logistics with the hotel, with taxis, with the local church, and meals and all that kind of stuff.
All that admin came in.
Exactly.
Admin's a big part of being a missionary, right?
Exactly. And so sometimes it's like, oh, it's actually way more admin than we all expected. So
am I equipped for this?
And actually that's one of my favorite parts to do. Like, hospitality is one of my gifts, and I really enjoy doing it. So as hard as it sometimes is and tiring, and there has been this last training when, like, it was midsummer. I had my midsummer. How everyone, in the middle of the camp, everyone, we always say there's a breakdown you'll have your emotional breakdown. I also had my midsummer breakdown in front of everyone. I'm like, I'm so tired.
Help me.
But then but God was so awesome that and that was right before my camp. I was so tired, and I was telling that to people. And then after camp, I was less tired than before the camp.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was just
You got energized.
Yeah, God's miracle.
Yeah.
But yeah, hosting the mission teams and looking after them and making sure, that if they need to go to a hospital, I go. And that's a true story. And, if, any help that I can to help them to feel welcomed and looked after.
That's an important role for sure. Oh
and I enjoy it. So as hard as it sometimes is, and sleepless nights, but or late nights, maybe that's a better way how to say it.
Worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Have there been teams or individuals like church? They've come back over and over and over, and you've been able to like build relationships with them and like see them over again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have in Latvia we have a couple churches from Arizona. One of them has been coming for like 15 years.
Is that the Red Mountain?
Red Mountain Community Church. Yeah, we've had several full-time missionaries from them.
There's an intern this past summer, right? Shayna?
There was, she was from Red Mountain. So
shout out, Shayna.
Shout out to Red Mountain.
Red Mountain.
Yeah, and another church from Phoenix, Shiloh, they've been coming for 10 or 11 years already.
Wow.
So we have those. But then we have also other churches that have been for a church that's been here for the third year already. And just seeing, so with those longer standing partnerships, it's like I went into, those partnerships already exist. But then there is a church from Oregon that I was like from their first year, I was part of it as well. And now seeing the partnership, how that has developed, and even seeing how the local church youth ministry has been revived and now what God is doing through there, and just being there. I remember how it was at the beginning. It was like, we will have barely 5 young people to the camp. And now this year they had like 30.
Wow.
And it's so exciting to see that how that partnership has grown, and that I got to be part of it, and seeing that, how their relationships are developing. And it's just really exciting for me to see that happening. So
that's so cool.
Really cool.
So Lelde, how many camps did you do this past summer?
Well, me personally, I did one full camp.
Oh, okay.
But as JV Latvia team, we partnered with 7 churches for a camp. But I went to visit most of them, not the ones that did the same time as I did. I did my camp, I went to see kind of what they do and visit them and just be part of for a day of their camps. Or see the fusion concert or something like that.
Yes.
So 7. Yeah. It's a good biblical number.
7 camps, 1 full one and 6 visits and lots of orientations and things like that. So we split our summer in like 2-week blocks. So this year we had 3, this year we had 2. So it was a bit less, so a bit more concentrated. So it was fun to have 35, almost 40 people. It's like, okay, let's go to the bus. Everyone now. Is everyone on the bus now? Everyone here? Make sure everyone's here.
Yeah, exactly. Or for the food or something like that.
Oh, I know. Again, logistics. It's all important. Got to feed people and get people from point A to point B. And
exactly.
People have to think about that stuff. And that's you.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Amazing.
Yep. So,
gosh.
7 camps we had this year. It was fun.
Well, what advice would you give to a church who is considering partnering with Josiah Venture to send a mission team?
Yeah, I would say, first question is, do you like young people? Would be because
do you like camp?
Yeah. Do you exactly?
Yeah.
And I would say advice would be the people that you are having for bringing over for your on your mission team are there people who like young people. I know that sounds really like weird and simple, but they're because you will be working with teenagers. And if you're scared of talking with teenagers, then this is going to be a really hard trip for you.
Right.
I would say that is, okay, if that's a youth ministry, you will be partnering with youth ministry. And it's also a very relational ministry. It's not necessarily, there are practical things that happen, but it is a way more that you build relationships or even be a bridge between the local church and the young people.
Yeah.
So it's often actually you don't necessarily see or get to have the spiritual conversation or bring someone to the Lord, have that prayer with someone, but you we always encourage people to, connect them with the local
Yes,
leader.
like, let me bring in a local leader on
Yeah,
this conversation.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So considering that and thinking about that, how we can serve together to the local church would be kind of advice, and being prepared for that there you might be cleaning toilets so that the local church can connect with the young people. That doesn't happen often, but
but having that like servant posture,
attitude,
attitude of like, okay, I'm coming to serve the local church, and being willing to do anything. And that's important what you said, like you might not be the one to have that gospel conversation. I remember a camp that I was a part of in Slovenia, a mission team came, and there was a person on that team who was like, I will not leave until I clearly share the gospel, with someone. And we were like, what does that look like to you? And for this person, it was like, well, I'm going to sit them down and like show them like the gospel bridge illustration. And, it's like, actually, sharing the gospel might be going and playing basketball with a kid, or going and sitting with a girl and having a conversation with her about whatever interests she has, about like movies or pop culture. Or sometimes the gospel doesn't look like you think it will, but to have that mindset of like, okay, I'm coming to serve, and be willing to do whatever and have a good attitude about it, and show the joy of the Lord, and not like, I have to share the gospel this way, but like loving students in a way just by like asking them, hey, what's your favorite color? Or, just like.
Exactly. And how often it is that saying, it's not going to be what you said, but how you made them feel.
Yes.
And that's like true. My story, right? I saw the joy, I saw the love. And I don't necessarily remember the talk that was given the gospel night, probably prodigal son, but knowing the person who was preaching, but how they made me feel. So it's kind of, you're ready to love and serve. And yes, having those random conversations about, I don't know,
random stuff.
Random stuff that young people are into, and being interested in them. So I hope that kind of answers the question.
Oh, totally.
As people think about getting ready for partnership with JV, I think that's we're working with young people. So, and there's a lot of surprises.
A lot of surprises.
A lot of flexibility needed sometimes.
Yes. And cultural differences and all of that kind of stuff. So
also sometimes think, because the culture is not so drastically different, well, at least Latvia, for example, or we're Eastern Europe, but in terms of culture, we're part of EU and all that. So we're kind of Western, and so sometimes I am like surprised or amazed that people still choose to come here to Europe, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's a Christian part of the world. But actually, when not we really. Say, it's like less than 1% of young people or people in Europe
in
general are following Jesus, and that's not a lot.
No,
and that's not a lot of people. And so it is kind of slight mindset change. It's like culture will be different. Some of the things will be different, but some of the things will not be different.
Yeah,
and it's like you're still kind of a missionary in a different culture, but some of the things will feel familiar, and it's like, we still know the pop culture, American music, we know American basketball, and all those people. So, that's a very interesting kind of cultural piece as well. That's different, but it isn't in some ways, because you kind of like, expect something different for your mission trip, but actually it's a very relational.
Very relational. That's so true. And Europe needs Jesus. All these countries. This is why Josiah Venture exists, and so many other mission organizations exist in Europe, is because there is less than 1% of people who know Jesus, which is wild.
I know.
People think, didn't Christianity come to Europe? Well, yes, but it's been a while. It's been a few years since the Reformation, right?
Yeah, just a few.
Just a few. Just a few. And people need Jesus everywhere.
Exactly.
But we're so, delighted to serve where God has called us to serve.
Exactly.
So. Well, Lelde, I'm so thankful for you, and thankful just for your friendship over the years, and seeing you serve just with a joyful heart in Latvia. And I'm thankful to hear just more of your story today.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to share?
Come serve at Josiah Venture. It's fun. It is fun.
You will have fun. Yeah, be an intern.
Be a mission team member. And just explore. I think missions.
Yeah.
I think that's why I love missions. You get to see the global church.
Yes.
And you're like, oh yeah, the God. It's the same God we serve everywhere, and that's the connecting piece, and that's incredible what God does through that. So,
Amen.
in this world when it's like it is harder, and it is like for some reason missions are kind of going down and all that, but go make that step. Of faith, and see what God does, because it's amazing to see what God does in other parts of the world. So, yeah.
That's so true.
Come on over.
And if you're just like traveling in Europe, go see Riga.
Yes, exactly.
Because
the hidden gem.
The hidden gem. Awesome. Well, thank you, Lelde, for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Josiah Venture Stories. For more information about who we are and our vision and mission, visit us at josiahventure.com and follow us on social media. If you have any questions about this episode or would like to get in touch with our guest, please email social@josiahventure.com. To help more people hear about this podcast, please leave us an honest written review or share this episode on your social media. Thank you, friends, and have a blessed day.